Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be starting our Laughlin Town Advisory Board meeting on November 12th, 2024, 1:30. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay decision relating to any item at any time. No action may be taken on any matter not listed on the posted agenda. All planning and zoning matters heard at this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners Zoning, the BCC, or the Clark County Planning Commissioner, PC, for final action. Please turn off or mute all cell phones or other electronic devices. Please take all private conversations outside the room. With a 48-hour advance request, a sign language interpreter, or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530 or TDD at 702-385-7486 or Relay Nevada toll-free at 800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to the board and the council members for this meeting may be requested by Tammy Harris at 702-298-0828. Supporting material is also available at the Clark County Department Administration. Supporting material is also available on the website at clarkcountynv.gov/LaughlinTAB. We'll go ahead and proceed with the roll call. Pamela Walker.
Present.
Fred Doughton.
Here.
Kathleen Oates.
Here.
Herm Walker.
Here.
And myself, Kathleen Haas. We all are in attendance. We also have with us Secretary Tammy Harris, 702-298-0828, or tammy.harris@clarkcountynv.gov. We also have our county liaison, Mark Moskowitz, 702-298-0828, 702-455-6173, or Mark W. Moskowitz, that's Moskowitz, at clarkcountynv.gov. If you will all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How do you go backwards? Okay, we will move on to number 2, public comment. This is a period devoted to the comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. You will be afforded the opportunity to speak on an individual public hearing item at the time they are presented. If you wish to speak to the board about items within this jurisdiction but not appearing on this agenda, turn the page, you must wait until the comments by the general public, the period listed at the end of this agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium. If applicable, clearly state your name, address, and please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of the presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the board majority vote. Moving on to item number 3. Can we have an approval of the minutes for October 8th, 2024?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carried. Can I get an approval for the agenda for today, November 12th, 2024?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Informational items. We will now receive a report and updates from our South County Liaison, Mark Moskowitz, on National Night Out, Laughlin Truck or Treat at Mountain View Park, Community Achievement Awards, and any other updates from Clark County.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair. First, I just want to thank all of our veterans. I know yesterday was Veterans Day. Commissioner Naft and I were able to attend several great celebrations of our veterans, and I know we have several in our town board and also have in the audience here. So thank you for all your service and everything that you've done. So that's what I want to start with. If you'll bring up my presentation. So we had a busy October. National Night Out we had on Wednesday, October 9th, and thank you to Metro for letting us table there and hang out with Parks and Rec at the Mountain View Park. It was a really good turnout. We went through all of our swag, so a lot of cool slap bracelets, we had some yo-yos, we had pencils, all kinds of things, so we're really happy to participate in that. One of the most fun events is the Laughlin Trunk or Treat. As you can see, the line of people there. We went through all of our candy, which is so great. So many great costumes, really good community events. So we had a blast. That was on October 29th. So a lot of sugar in the kids' bodies with all the candy we handed out. So it was a success. I had the pleasure of presenting the Spirit of Nevada Award at the Community Achievement Awards, and I want to thank Carrie and the Chamber for letting me do that. And I was so happy when I opened the envelope and saw our very own Pam Walker won the Spirit of Nevada Award. So it was so great, and I think we should all give her a nice round of applause for that. We all deserve. So, yes. So I was very happy to do that, and that was a wonderful event. Great job, Carrie and the Chamber, on that. And then, as many of you know, one of our familiar faces, Officer Troy Nickel, he is retiring after 22 years. He won't be leaving. I'm kind of spilling the beans. He's going to still be a Metro volunteer, which is going to be so wonderful. But I want to thank Lieutenant Rogers and Sergeant Cox. I was able to surprise him the day before and give him a proclamation from Commissioner Naft of all of his hard work. So we're really happy to still have him in the community, and he's done so much in this community, him and his wife as well. So. And that ends my presentation. And then one other quick thing, I know Laughlin Residential Streets is still finishing. That should be done by the end of the year. We have added another little section. I know there's the Laughlin Civic Drive from Highway 163 kind of down here, that little cut through. That thankfully they were able to add that road into the project. So I think all of our roads are going to be in tip-top shape starting in 2025. I know I want to thank Bob for doing some drone footage of El Mirage. It looks fantastic. So we're really happy to have that done. And yeah, and then my last update is, as always, Commissioner Naft's newsletter is in the back. It's got a lot of good information. If you'd like to be on it electronically, just let us know. And with that, those are all my updates. Thanks.
Thank you. Number 2, receive a report from Lieutenant Rogers with Metro.
Have to hit the button so it turns green. All right, thank you for having us here. I will start with the exciting stats that we normally cover each month. So for October 2024, we responded to 252 calls for service. That is down 3 calls from this same month last year. So we're right on the same pace as far as calls for service, and down about 16 calls from last month for September. So pretty typical trend that we see here in Laughlin, at least for us on the policing side. As the weather gets a little bit cooler, it is a little bit less busy for us, which is nice. For total, for our station, we wrote 107 traffic tickets. That included 2 DUI arrests, 1 arrest for domestic violence, and 16 total bookings here at our Tucker holding facility. And we responded to 2 calls for service at the high school, elementary school combined. So that's kind of our response for the last month. Our next event will be tomorrow, our monthly Coffee with a Cop. Farmers Insurance has graciously volunteered to host this for us. So we'll be at 3030 South Needles Suite 1500. That is the same shopping center where the DMV is, in case anyone that's not familiar with the address or where Farmers is at. And as our kind of Metro Road Show, we do have a guest speaker tomorrow. Our guest speaker tomorrow will be an LVMPD victim advocate. So if you or anyone in your family's ever been the victim of a crime, or anyone that's ever asked you for any sort of assistance or help that was a victim of a crime, then we ask that they come tomorrow and they can get some more information on a lot of resources that maybe we're not aware of here in Laughlin that are available to us in Laughlin, but maybe, knock on wood, we don't have as many victims of crimes that they do in Vegas. But those same resources are available here in Laughlin. So anyone that is interested, come out tomorrow, have a cup of coffee, donut, muffin. We'll have some fruit options for the healthier side. But come on out, listen to our guest speaker. We'll be there tomorrow at 11 a.m., probably close to 12. Usually run about an hour. But yes, Mark hit on it earlier. We appreciate Mark and Commissioner Naft. We had one of our long-term officers retire. He's been a permanent resident here in Laughlin for many years, and Troy's kind of been a staple of productivity. So I'm sad to see him leave on the management side of it and as a personal friend. But yes, Mark said it best. He's coming back on as a volunteer. So hopefully doing the same job, just a less budgetary items for the county. We now have him here for free as a volunteer. So I think we're all happy. Yeah. Other than that, we're just kind of preparing for, usually December's pretty busy with Christmas events at the school. We do a shop with a cop. We partner with the county with a lot of those things. So any questions for me today?
Any questions?
You're good. Kathy, good. Herm's good. Tammy, Mark, perfect. Okay. All right. We'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow at 11, and come with your questions, because we're always excited for more and new exciting questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, number 3, receive a report from Clark County Fire Department.
Oh, there they are.
Hello all, I'm Mike Hutch, representing the Clark County Fire Department. I'm a captain here. I just got the bid down to Station 76 last week. I'm happy to be down here. I'm replacing Dennis Murata, who retired after 25 years. I have October 2024's numbers. We ran 187 total calls. 167 of those were EMS calls and 20 were fire calls. Those are the numbers I have. I'll be happy to ask any questions that I can get the answer to for you.
Do you have a copy of that report?
I do.
Madam Chair. Oh, I just had a question. So recently I was contacted in one of my storage facilities at the mall where I have equipment and everything by Joe. And is that a new fire inspector we have permanently here in Laughlin, or
We
just to inspect inside my building? And so I was just curious, I'm a tenant there, and I was just curious, do we have a new permanent fire
Right
inspector?
now, as I have understand from my inquiries, is we're rotating people down here. We
I
don't have
see.
a permanent fire inspector right now. But
Okay.
we're rotating people down from town as fire inspectors.
Okay, no problem. We just used to have a permanent
Yes, I
inspector,
remember
Sherry.
Sherry, yes.
And when she retired, I just didn't know if all of a sudden we had a replacement, and we just didn't know.
Yeah,
So,
as of now, they're just rotating people from town.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Nope, I don't see any other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, receive a report from Jason Bailey with Big Bend Water District. On a roll, they're all here.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jason Bailey reporting for the Big Bend Water District. Our total diversions for the month of October were 263 acre feet. Year to date, that's 2,626 acre feet. Slightly up from year to date last year, so really it's kind of water use is pretty close to on par with 2023. As far as the water system update, the staff has performed a few maintenance and upgrades to the water system. You can see them listed there, kind of bullet pointed out. If there are any specific questions about those, I can let you know. I can reach out to our superintendent and let you know specifics on those. As far as development inquiries, no new inquiries as of from last month. And then a financial update for the fiscal year to date through September 30th. The Big Bend Water District had an operating surplus of $450,697. So after capital expenditures, debt service payments, the resulting non-state revolving fund accumulated debt balance has actually decreased 1.2 million from fiscal year end, with a balance of 2.26 million in debt as of September 30th. So really the main driver of that debt balance decrease is the receipt of SRF grants. I reported this last month. There was a receipt of 500,000. Since then, there has been another 500,000. So that was 1 million. And then also just capital expenditures have been light in the last 3 months, combined with positive operating revenue. I also wanted to report that the Board of Trustees approved the business impact statement related to water theft. That was at the Board of Directors meeting last week, and they set a public hearing for December 3rd for that. And that will be at the Clark County Government Center. And then at that same meeting last week, the Board of Trustees also accepted the annual financial report and authorized its submission to the state of Nevada. And so that annual financial report has been uploaded to the Big Bend Water District webpage. I also sent that to all of the members of the Town Advisory Board. And that's my report.
Board members have any questions?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
If I'm not sure if you recall, because a lot has transpired, obviously, with the
Sure.
Water District in recent months. In June, July, after your budget was approved with capital expenditures and stuff, I had requested of you and also of wastewater treatment a copy of the budget. Were you able to obtain that?
Of the approved budget.
Correct.
Okay.
For FY 25-26 for the Water District.
Okay.
It's just, I had asked for it from you and also from wastewater treatment. It's just, a lot has happened since then, obviously.
And
So I just wanted to circle back on
Okay.
that.
I appreciate you circling back. I do apologize. I will get that to you this week.
Yeah, just
I'll
to
send it
Tammy and the members of
Okay.
the board,
Sure.
please.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to speak on the Water District.
You got to speak up.
Pardon?
Speak up.
Okay. Hello, can you hear?
Here
Okay.
or at the,
Obviously, we've been waiting for the water rate increase analysis and how much it's going to be. And my comments would relate both to the Water District and the Sanitation District. As we all know, we've got a huge population of retirees and fixed income residents here. As a general rule in the past, we've always had in advance for the homeowners associations to establish their budgets. And those budgets by statute have to be done by November 1st. Generally, that information from the districts show us an analysis of their cost, what to justify the rate increase. Generally, it's been between 4 and 6%, and always after an election. Always after an election. And so and they give us an analysis of what the water rates are in the competing residential areas and commercial areas of Bullhead City, Fort Mojave, and Needles. This year, the boards, and I've tried to meet the LEDC tried to meet with as many boards to warn them that there potentially could be a material change in service fees in this town. We have not received anything. Now the boards have already gone ahead, not having any information, and kind of guessed or had no increases to the association dues, and we're talking about approximately 8,000 of the 10,000 residents in this town that are members of the 20 to 25 homeowners
Are you
associations.
talking about a water increase rate?
Water and sewer. They generally run together, Madam Chairman. And it's awful late, and it's put them generally, if any one of the associations has a swimming pool, the water issue is very material, not only for landscaping, but it's very material to their costs. And I can only speak on behalf of the 7 homeowners associations inside Bilbroy Ranch, but there's another 18 all around the community that are now adopted budgets that aren't realistic.
Okay,
So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that, and I would really request that both the districts come to the table as soon as possible with respect to their background, their cost estimates, and notifying these homeowners associations, okay? Thank you very much.
thank you.
And again, my comments would relate to the sanitation district also.
And Madam Chair, that's why I had asked back in June and July. I, felt we could see as much as a 25% increase. And the budgets are completed, for the fiscal year, June, July timeframe, and voted on. And a lot of the HOAs like Ione and Las Palmas, Portofino, water and sewer are part of what the HOA. When you pay your HOA every month, you're not paying a water bill. It goes directly to that, so that'll have a pretty good impact.
Okay.
Might have Jason come up and address it.
Yes.
He's going to.
Jason Bailey, Big Bend Water District. Just if I could speak briefly to that, I don't know about the Water Reclamation District. That's a separate budget. They would do their own increase. As far as the Big Bend Water District, to date, we don't have any schedule on an increase. And typically what we've done, our last increase was Citizens Advisory Committee in 2017. And it's very likely that we would convene a similar type of a process where we would engage the community in some sort of rate increase if that were to occur. So the last one was almost 8 years ago, but that's the process for the water district. Again, I don't know about the water reclamation district though.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, let's receive a report from Mike Jackson, Executive Director of Southern Nevada Transient Coalition. Hey, Sue.
Hi, my name is Sue Ann Bishop, BISHOP, 260 East Laughlin Civic. I'm sorry to say Mike Jackson could not make it in. He's, as you noticed, we haven't been at many meetings lately, and we apologize for that. There's been a lot going on with personal and our fiscal year for the Silver Rider. So we will try to make it up, and there'll be different faces you'll get to see coming to give you these minutes. So the Laughlin report, all ridership shows improvement. Our fare box has been updated, and I now feel confident in the reports. Our ridership is up throughout the years. Right now it's a little low. We had a summer, fall, and it went down a little bit. Vegas Express is moving quickly, gaining speed on its attendance. We have general updates. Staffing levels are still not exactly where we want, but recruitment has improved. There is more interest in the public in working with SNTC. The old days we had waiting elicited one for work for us. Now we try to get back to continue to improve our new hires, compensation packets, and benefits. Starting wage for CDL now is $17.28. In the recent, every year we've been getting our little raises and improvements for our employees, but our starting wage stayed where it was. So it fell behind. So we're trying to improve it quickly. That wage went up by 21% in the past 3 years. Now we got new buses coming. Matter of fact, in next week, I think we're going to go pick up one of our first new lowboys. It's a CDL bus, but it's a small bus. It's a cutaway. So we did put in the paint scheme of what we're planning on doing, trying to match up with our 40-footers so that we can look all the same. A little fancy, but it's going to be nice. SNTC is reviewing, analyzing, and possible redesigning routes. Our 888 route and our 77 route, we would like to do a little bit better at it, hit a few more places. The one thing we want to merge into the Bullhead area transit. We want to merge our route to go over to the Bullhead side and pick up at the docks so that like when the taxis aren't working or when Bullhead's not running, we'll still be over there to get people over here a little bit easier than them trying to either walk across or take the water taxi. Or people that want to go to the other side. So we'll be putting that into the new route. The other part of the route that we want to change will be going to the high school. The only difficulty on that is we need a road. You know? So we are looking and we are timing it. We don't know when it's gonna be because until we get that road, we can't change anything. There's not enough space in that Cougar area by the high school to turn a 40-foot bus around like it is in Portofino. It's just not there. And with all the children, we can't chance it. So until that road is opened up, the route will stay the way it is. But if and when we get that road opened up and we're able to change our route, a lot of things on our routes will change. And so that'll be something we bring to the board and we bring to NDOT, and a lot of approval has to get taken care of before we can even do it. But it will be improved. We'll still have our 24-hour bus, and we'll still have, hopefully, the 19-hour service. Right now, it's a little lower because when COVID hit, we lost our ridership a little bit, so we had to cut it back. We're working on getting that back, but we have to wait until we can get our team up to par so that we have enough people to do it. The other thing is our Meals on Wheels program. We're very sad to say that our program is closed. Not that we're not still serving people. People aren't getting served. Mom's Meals is taken over. We've tried to work with them, and the reason we liked our Meals on Wheels program is because we got to see those people every day or every week. We got to check on them, make sure everything was okay. They called us and let us know what's going on. With the Mom's Meals, they are mail delivered. So we're trying to figure out different ways so that we can keep in touch with our seniors, the ones that don't ride with us, because Mom's Meals is able for people that can ride with us and be at home. So we're worried about those people that don't ride. You know, who's checking in on them. So that is something we're working on. We are still making the phone calls, just seeing how they're doing. But if anybody still needs meals, Mom's Meals is very good. They have great food. We got to test it. So it's yummy. I mean, at least the macaroni and cheese was. So.
Madam Chair, I have a question about this.
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the driving force for getting rid of Meals on Wheels?
We lost our people. They went to Mom's Meals. We had, for about 3 months, we had one person.
Wow.
But then he got ill and passed. So we lost him, we lost everybody. So Mom's Meals was made for anybody over 60. Meals on Wheels was made for the homebound. Meals on Wheels in our grant cycle stated they had to be homebound. They couldn't be able to go to the store, go out to doctors. It was for those very ill and elderly that couldn't move. Mom's Meals is a little bit different. Mom's Meals, you can do whatever you want. You just can't make too much money, and you have to be over 60.
And so they come in the mail or what?
They literally get a nice chest about as big as this table sent to them once a month. So that's a lot of food to stick in their little freezers. But so far, people that we've checked on that are getting it, that are new to it, that left us for that, are doing pretty good. So, I mean, I'm grateful they're still eating. We did pick up a few of our people that weren't completely homebound and put them onto our service because they're getting Mom's Meals, and take them to the food bank and to the store when they need to go.
So are they still getting fruit, milk, some of the other things that were available through the meals? No. Wow.
Not with Mom's Meals. I mean, they get fruit and vegetables in the meal itself, but not like what we were doing. But that's why we've encouraged them to get on our buses and go to the food bank, because they can get fruit and other products there that'll help supplement what they've got.
Okay, that's so
Madam Chair,
disappointing.
just
out of curiosity, so just help me to understand a little bit. The Meals on Wheels program is a grant-funded program.
Yes, it
Correct.
is.
And those grant funds are still available. However, we do not have a person to administrate it. Am I understanding correctly?
We can still do it. The funds are available if you have the clients. Grantees,
If you have the clients,
yes.
grantees, help me define those
Grantees don't like to give
terms.
out money if you don't have enough people on a program.
Okay.
You have to, we get our grant, we have to spend a certain amount of money every month. Whether it be on the insurance for the vehicle, the hourly driver that brings the food, and on the meals and on delivery. If you don't have enough people to deliver to, they start cutting your budget back.
I see.
And when they take too much, I mean, the insurance alone on our vehicle was very expensive because of the type of vehicle it was. As they cut back, we kept losing money. So more of it was coming out of our pocket over the grantee. We did the last fundraiser for our Meals on Wheels. We still had to throw in money to cover because they cut us of the money because we didn't have the clients. So we're given a certain amount at the beginning of the year to cover a certain amount of clients. But our clients kept dropping off, going to Mom's Meals because they weren't qualifying for us.
I see. I see.
So we kept losing as we went along. We still kept it up because
Remember years ago, Caesar, or well, it was Harrah's at the time. That was their predominant charity, was the
Yes.
Meals on Wheels program.
and they used to help us with Thanksgiving meals and Christmas meals every year.
Right, right.
And so
Okay.
our,
So what is the ballpark funding that runs that program?
the Meals on Wheels? I'm not exactly sure on that. I'm not sure how that worked out. I didn't do the grantees. I do know we spent, when we calculated it out, it was costing us a couple $100 a week to feed the one gentleman.
Okay. And so we basically have one individual that's on that program?
He's passed,
I see.
so when he passed, we lost our program. We had nobody else,
I see. Okay.
so.
All right. Thank you.
What would it take to get this program back under you rather than Mom's?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we'd need clients, but the way the grants are written, certain grants are written, they have to be homebound. We don't have a lot of homebound people. We may think we do, but they get out. That's the one problem. If they go out shopping, they're off the program. And we're not the only ones that call them. The main people give a call to check in on them. That's how I lost 6 clients, because you try to teach your clients how to answer, but they're old. So I lost
I know
quite a
there's-
few in one jump because
Yeah.
they called to do a check on us, found out they weren't really homebound. They were sort of.
We do have a few, because I know there were 6 that I deliver food to every Wednesday.
Right.
And now I'm down to 5 because one passed away.
The other problem was is some of these people didn't like our food.
Yep.
We got our food from Western Arizona Medical Hospital. They flash freeze it, and it's kind of bland. But when they're covering so many different types of things people can eat, they have to make it bland. And Mom's Meals is a little more preppy. You get a menu, you get to choose. With us, you get what you get.
Right.
So Mom's was a little bit more active. People like that idea where they could look at a menu and pick if they want breakfast items or dinner items, shelf stable, freezer. We just had the freezer.
Okay.
And I've had a few of mine that I deliver to, they make too much money. Has that changed for Mom's Meals or?
So far, they haven't denied anybody that I know of. I speak with her about once a month just to check in and make sure she still has, because those clients have to call in like every couple months to make sure. So she tells me which ones haven't started calling, so I go out to their house, make sure they're calling to make sure that they keep that food coming.
And so do they register with you just like they would have with, no, they
Nope,
just call?
it goes directly with them, but we've had good contact with Mom's Meals, the lady that runs it and runs our area, Laughlin and Searchlight, so we've been able to make sure that people don't fall off the list and
Can
then
we
have no
possibly
food.
get that number? Because I know some of the clients that I deliver to might
Yeah.
qualify for that.
Yeah, I can get it to y'all.
All right, thank you.
Not a problem. Our community partnership, during the long period since the last time we reported, which I know it's been a while, SNTC, of course, continued its major involvement in the community and support. Some of the events include the air show, which was a lot of fun, very successful. In the transportation in the parking area, we had no problems. Everything went pretty smooth. We did the silver copper crossing ribbon cutting with both transportation and cool zones on the buses, the bowling tournament, concerts. We help support our police with barricades. We use our brand new buses to barricade so no one rams our officers or any people that are going to the concert. We insisted with the Boys and Girls Club. Clark County did not have transportation for the Boys and Girls Club for the elementary since they moved it. They had 27 kids. They were going to have to call the parents and tell them, sorry, they can't come anymore because we have no transportation. So for about 6 weeks, we transported the kids. We went and picked them up, took them Boys and Girls Club. We had Mark help me a lot to get with Clark County the buses. We got them all back on and scheduled and picking up the kids. So CCSD has stepped in now and is transporting our kids to the Boys and Girls Club. Mark called. They called multiple times. I called. We just had to do what we had to do. But in the meantime, we took care of it, made sure those kids were able to get home. We didn't want our children to go home without parents. So, you know, parents have to work. They need that Boys and Girls Club. We helped with transportation for National Night Out and for the Halloween. We picked up people at the market and brought them down to the park so that we could eliminate some of that parking down there, some of that chaos. It seemed to work out. For National Night Out, it was a little over 400 people we transported back and forth with 2 small cutaways, 2 drivers going back and forth like crazy men, and a little over 300 for the Halloween. So, and we gave them free rides because, well, we don't hold cash in our pockets and there's no fare boxes in those machines, in those buses, so we just did it free. Lord, we've done the Aquarius Health Fair, the Anderson Fieldhouse Fair, Roadhouse Night Out. We did a program with the Chamber, which was so much fun. Picked up people here in Laughlin, took them to Searchlight. They partied and I watched, and it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. And we're getting ready December 13th. We're going to bring our Searchlight people down to our community to party down here. So hopefully we can keep that up. That was Carrie's idea, and it was a great idea, so we just give them the transportation. It's a lot of fun. There's some crazy people on that bus. Just saying. So we also helped Bullhead with the Witches Paddle, picked up their people over in Bullhead and brought them to our Laughlin side to float down river, and they had a wonderful time. They were all dressed like witches, so that was interesting. Next, we got coming up different free days. We have Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. We give free rides on all those type of holidays. An FYI, for the first time in 15 years that I've worked at the company, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, our office will be closed. My buses will keep moving, but my office will be closed. So we got some happy people there. So we don't usually close. We're open every day, Monday through Friday. But we will not be running Para, Las Vegas on those days. We will transport still our dialysis. Dialysis don't run on Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, or New Year's Day. So we switch it, so we'll be transporting, you'll see our little bus out on Sunday, transporting dialysis on Sunday to make sure that they get the treatment they need. And so once again, I apologize, Mike Jackson could not be here. He wanted to be, but he's trying to take care of our company and his family and himself. And so we step in where we need to be. Any questions?
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No. Thank you, great report.
Thank you.
I don't see Will Smith.
Okay, receive a report from Will Smith with Water Reclamation. No, he's not here. Did he call? Okay, let's receive a report from Kelly Lure, South Clark County. She's not here?
Nope, she's not here either.
Okay, how about Parks and Rec? Yeah. There's a report for Parks and Rec in the back if you're interested in looking at the report. Okay, let's receive a report from Carrie Larson, Laughlin Chamber.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Board. First off, I want to send out a great big thank you to Mark for presenting at Community Achievement Awards and Commissioner Naft for his support, and also to Congresswoman Susie Lee. They sent special certificates of achievement for all of our Nevada winners. Congratulations, Pam. That was awesome. I hope you liked your song. Hers was Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. Gonna have to come up with one for Mark for next year. So our report today, for ribbon cuttings, we have one on December 5th at noon, Nevada time. It's going to be at the Chamber. This is Jacobo Getaways. So Marcy Jacobo has a travel company that will be cutting a symbolic ribbon for her. She's really a go-getter, and like, for example, right now she's working with the Bullhead City Senior Center, and they're gonna try and put together some different trips, so that's something to think about for the community here, utilizing a travel agent to be able to get them out of town. Regarding networking, education, and events at the Chamber, Toastmasters has had some rejiggering on the dates. The next one will be on the 26th and December 9th. I have an error on my report. It should say 4:30 Nevada time.
Okay, instead of 5?
Correct. We have people come from Lake Havasu and the other side of the river and us, so, and teachers, and so it's kind of been shuffling around a little bit, but there's still wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Our next business breakfast is put on by parents of addicted loved ones. That is November 22nd at 8:30 a.m. Nevada time, and this will be simple steps to elevate outreach and grow your business. Our next roundtable is December 2nd at noon. That's digital marketing presented by Steve Lesueur from My Marketing Designs, The Buzz, and Talisman Consulting. And then the digital and print marketing will be presented by David Robbins, which is the VP of News West Publishing. Both excellent presenters. I highly encourage everyone to come to that. And then our next field trips will be Catholic Charities, IFP, and Warm Sea. And we'll let you know the dates as those get a little bit closer. Our big events that are coming up, December 10th, Tinsel and Tunes. Doors open at 5 o'clock Nevada time. It's only $50 for dinner and a 2.5-hour show. A show itself is usually about $50 a person. So this is smoking deal. Please get your tickets soon. We are going to be doing a reverse roundup, as Sue mentioned. So this time we are bringing the Searchlight people down and then back to Searchlight. The event will be at Old Town Saloon. At the Roadhouse Roundup, we were privileged to be able to donate all the fees we collected for the bus ride to the SNTC Megan Jackson Toy Drive. We donated a little over $200 for that event. The Searchlight residents riding the bus, obviously they're going to have a fee for that, which is $10, but we highly encourage anybody that's going to come from Laughlin, it's going to be technically free, but if you can donate to the toy drive, either an unwrapped toy or a monetary donation, we highly encourage that. They'll have signature cocktails, and we'll do some Christmas games, and it's going to be a lot of fun. For Christmas on the Colorado, this is the boat parade, the light up boat parade that happens in December. It's December 21st. We are going to have a Laughlin family watch party on our side of the river for our community members that are not necessarily able to transfer themselves all the way across to the Bullhead Bell. So Southern Silver Rider, did she leave already? She did. Well, she's going to be bringing kids down from the town to the Regency because our event is going to be right on the helipad in front of the Regency there down on the Riverwalk. So we're going to have decorating ornaments and a s'mores bar and all kinds of little things, coloring books, anything that we can do for the children in Laughlin to be able to view this community-wide event that's super cool. Q4 results so far, beginning of the quarter, we have 2 new members. None are from Laughlin yet. We have a total of 327, 31% are from Laughlin, and 69 for the entire year. Our new membership rewards are the same as they've always been. We're happy to be partnering with Murphy Broadcasting for a $500 credit in radio advertising. Tonight is the VIP general meeting. They will be voting tonight on the charities that they're going to give money away to in January. We highly encourage everyone to attend, but if you're not a member and you don't have a certain number of meetings behind you, you can't vote on those charities yet, but come down and see what it's all about. You can call the chamber for the location. Next up, I'm going to skip down to ongoing projects. The NDOT Laughlin directional road signs and the bridge. As you recall, we had to submit a BDR to rename the bridge up by the riverside, the Donald J. Laughlin Memorial Bridge. We did receive our language back from the Legislative Council Bureau, and it looks exactly as we sent it, so they did a great job. So we're going to send that back to them saying it's approved and keep moving this truck along. It will also be renaming the 163 the Colorado River Highway. Arizona is doing the same project for the 68 coming down the hill. So this was set into place prior to me joining the chamber. It was between Jackie and Hildy, and the goal was all roads lead to the river. So both roads are going to be named the Colorado River Highway, and they will end at the river in the center. So we're excited about that. Regarding the Section 163 Energy Corridor, in my previous report, I had mentioned that we expected that there would be a new comment period sometime in October or November. They have not posted one, and now the website says the next public engagement will be for review of the draft EIS draft RMPA, anticipated in December of 2024. I put the website on there. It kept turning it into a hot link, so I had to take that out. Just remember at the beginning, before e-planning is https://. And then Kathy, I have worked with Joe. He's great. Fantastic. So,
Fire inspector.
yes.
It was just interesting. I've been there 8 years, and it's the first inspection
Yeah.
I've had in 8 years. So
Yeah, well, I had some
Surprised.
questions regarding the e-center, and I shot him an email. He called me right back. He came into the office and visited with me, so make him your go-to man.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
That is all that I have for the board. Any other comments, questions? First time I remember to ask.
Thank you. Okay, receive a report from Jackie Wallen.
She's not here.
Not here.
In the back.
Here, you can receive that report from the back. And the library, Tanya Brown. Nope. And we do not have her report. And the high school. Oh, we're just moving right along here. Announcements of upcoming neighborhood meetings and county and community meetings and events. Announcements, the Laughlin Town Advisory Board will begin accepting nominations for the 2025 Laughlin Citizen of the Year on November 12th, 2024. Nominations will close on December 27th, 2024. There is applications in the back. If you know somebody you would like to nominate, please get these forms filled out and bring them into our office here for Tammy or Mark. Okay, nominations forms are available at the Laughlin Library, the Community Resource Center, Spirit Mountain Activity Center, and the Laughlin Administrative Offices, or the Clark County website at clarkcounty.nv.gov/LaughlinTAB. Nominations for the forms must be turned in to the Laughlin Administrator Office, Laughlin Regional Government Center at 101 Civic Way, Laughlin, Nevada 89029 by December 27th at 5 p.m. Only nominations utilizing the nomination form will be accepted. The Laughlin Citizen of the Year Award is given annually in honor of the late Jim Edwards and is intended to recognize and thank the outstanding citizens of Laughlin who has given his or her private time and effort to help local government make Laughlin a better place to live. It is expected that the 2025 Citizen of the Year recipient will be announced and honored at the Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 meeting of the Laughlin Town Advisory Board at 1:30 p.m. We, at this time, have no planning and zoning, and we'll move on to general business. We will review and finalize the 2026 budget request. Do we have this on camera? No? Okay.
Should be in the back of the room.
Okay. Okay, so reviewing the 2026 capital budget results. We have, and this is the order that they came up as priority. The community digital marquee, the crosswalk at Las Palmas and Needles Highway, the handicap accessible bus stops, Spirit Mountain marquee sign, the Romtech building air conditioning and at Pyramid Canyon, dedicated motorsports park with Wi-Fi, the RGC meeting room audience chair replacement, the trail host site, and a creation of the Laughlin Cemetery. Any comments? Any discussion?
I make the motion that we move forward with what we have.
Okay. I have a motion and I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carry. Okay, let's move on to comments by the general public. A period devoted to comments by the general public about matters relevant to the board's jurisdictions will be held. No vote may be taken on a matter not listed on the posted agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium, clearly state your name and address, and spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of the presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the council majority vote. Please speak up and speak clearly.
Robert Bilbray, BILBRAY, 1631 Caledison, representing the Laughlin Economic Development Corp. I would request that I be permitted to go over 3 minutes in this presentation. It's going to relate to the, I was waiting for Will on the sanitation district.
I can't hear you.
I was waiting for Will to make his presentation before I would comment, so I'd like to make the comments now with respect to the Area 2 lift station and force main renovation. I would appreciate more than 3 minutes to do it.
Well, let's stick to the 3 minutes because he's not here right now to answer any questions you may have.
I understand that. All I'm going to be doing is making the
Let's
presentation.
stick to the 3
answer
minutes and
questions.
see how far you get.
As you know, we've been working since 2001 on two issues with respect to the wastewater in South Laughlin. The first one is we need a new force main is required pursuant to the February 24th Clark County Water Reclamation District. It's basically because of the age and the interior surfaces build up over the over time. The second requirement is a very expensive redundant force main is required, again pursuant to the February 24th Water Reclamation District. And this is basically a backup to the force main that goes across the power plant. If the board would like me to disclose what, are you all aware of the Area 2 lift station and the force main going to this across the power plant? If I can ask if there's any questions, otherwise I assume not, and I'll go ahead and proceed with the questions. These are basically the summaries of the most current negotiations with Mr. Stoff at the Water Reclamation District. He's the attorney for the Water Reclamation District that's been working with myself and with adjacent property owners, Jim Shaw specifically, with respect to the easement required for the renovation of the force main and the lift station. What we've been able to determine, I've broken down in what we know or what we think we know and where we're going, and try to get some type of timeline to start monitoring. As you remember, I think 3 or 4 meetings ago I asked that this be brought up on the attention level. Right now, the Laughlin lift station has a capacity of 2.2 in Area 2, has a lift capacity of 2.2 million gallons. We're presently operating at about 50% capacity. Am I past my 3 minutes already?
Yes. Can you send that to us and then?
Oh, it's just, I'd have to, it would take a lot of work to organize what my speaking thoughts were going to be, but I'll try to get something to you, but I'm not going to be that long. If I can have another 3 or 4 minutes, I'd appreciate it.
I think we need Will here.
3 minutes ain't gonna kill it.
Yeah, 3 minutes aren't gonna kill us, yeah.
Go ahead, 3 minutes.
Starting,
Now.
okay. Again, the force main is required. We're using approximately 50% of the 2.2 million gallons. To give the board an idea, that would approximately be somewhere around 1,100 dwelling units. Doesn't necessarily mean it would be all on Casino Drive or all, because we have that one lift station that takes care of everything. So where it's located, and again, you know, we're not going to be getting any sewer demand unless we address the restrictions on potable water. So one impacts the other. We have asked questions regarding what the elevations of the easement, the redundant second line easement would have to be across the power plant, and we've also asked for funding timelines of what they see as far as a budget for doing that. We don't know what the hookup fees are going to be because we don't know what the rules and regulations are going to be with respect to, you know, whether every developer is going to have to put in whatever's needed for his development, which I would warn the board that in this case, you're talking about multi-millions of dollars, and no one residential development would ever do it. So it's a little different than just building a water tank. This is really, really serious restrictions. And again, the force main, in order to stay with the current water reclamation regulations, it's required. It's not both the force main, the additional redundant force main is required under the current Water Reclamation District regulations. And again, you know, I won't go through all of this, but it's very critical. The water issue's not worth anything without the wastewater issue. And I see them potentially, us having to make sure that they run on the same concurrent timeline as far as resolution, timelines, development schedule. We have, you know, this is something that's looked at by every construction lender in the industry, along with our wastewater, along with our potable water. And this community has been facing this for almost 2 years now. We couldn't have missed that it would effectively affect both wastewater as it has potable water. And so the funding issues there. Again, maybe I'll talk to Mark and see about putting this on a separate agenda item as we go through it. But we're coming pretty close to the end, and we should have some pretty good timelines and costs. We haven't even finished the design criteria of what's going to be built yet. So I'm again cautioning the board, keep an eye on the Water Reclamation District renovation of this force main, the additional line that they're asking for, the funding of it, and the timing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Or if I can just add to that, I don't know if you guys recall the last meeting we had when we had Doha here, but I had asked of Will, because in the minutes that I found when we turned over the water district and everything over to Big Bend, that was a priority and an allocation that was supposed to be done in 2008. As far as Lift Station 2. And my inquiry at that time was, did this ever happen? Did it not? Because, of course, they took that away from us. So I was hoping Will could let us know if that maintenance ever did happen and revisions that needed to be done, because we were aware of that back in 2008. And obviously he's not here today, so I don't know if that ever did indeed happen, but we were aware of it back then as well.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, so I think we should ask for this information to be provided at the next meeting and that he be here.
Tammy, you'll take care of that? Thank you.
Good afternoon. Barbara Bodley, last name is Bodley, a resident of 1838 Oasis Court in Laughlin since 2003. For many years, some of you may have known me as a bell ringer at the Laughlin Outlet Center. Unfortunately, we're not covering that location any longer, and I've been moved over to Sam's Club. But I wanted to assure you that the Salvation Army is still alive in Bullhead. We are just as much of the local core as the Bullhead City side is, and we will be covering the market up on Needles Highway as often as we have available bell ringers. You may start seeing bell ringers this coming Saturday because Walmart has volunteered to let us start 2 weeks earlier. Ordinarily, it starts the day after Thanksgiving, so we'll have more locations covered then. I am especially involved with a team effort of finding more bell ringers that were registered now as the Bullhead City / Laughlin bell ringers. So if you know of someone that is interested in doing this, if they could contact me, or they could contact Captain John Burks at the Salvation Army Corps, which is located at 1461 Palmer Road. So it's sort of northwest of Harbor Freight. We'll use that for a location. Something special too, and this is the first time we've done it that I know of, there's actually going to be a major event coming up a kettle kickoff event with the theme of Make Dreams Come True, and that's going to be held Saturday, November 23rd, starting at 5:30 Arizona time, so it's 4:30 for Laughlin residents, and that will be at the Bullhead City Chamber of Commerce location at 1251 Arizona 95, the big event room that's downstairs. So everybody is invited to that. It will be a complete barbecue dinner with a dessert provided by Culver's. It will be an opportunity to hear from people about how they've been affected by the services of the Salvation Army and what it meant to changing their lives. We're doing a silent auction, and also I wanted to especially let you know that there is an art contest between the public schools, including the 3 schools in Laughlin participating. They are repainting with whatever design they care to come up with the little counter kettles that sit on a counter for receiving the red kettle donations. So it would be an opportunity, if you get a chance to come to this event, to help vote for the Laughlin schools and vote by way of dropping some coins or some money in there. That's how they're going to determine the winner. And there may also be an opportunity to actually purchase one of those Laughlin school-made counter kettles. So again, that will be on Saturday, November 23rd, and I do have some of the tickets if you want to contact me. However, in all honesty, I've got to let you know that I'm wearing another hat today also. I'm here as a representative of the Friends of River Fund Cancer Connection. We have been a year-round fundraising group of volunteers ever since 2018, and we do this as much as we possibly can. We've been at Sam's Club several times. This last Saturday, we're at the annual craft fair for Laughlin Community Church. We do pickles and jam and stretch bracelets and all kinds of crocheted type of things. So this group of volunteers will again be this coming Friday and Saturday, the 15th and 16th. There will be a garage sale between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. at my home, which is 1838 Oasis Court here in Laughlin, and every single cent that is brought in for that does go directly to River Fund for use that's limited to our local cancer patients. And we have 2 River Fund offices, they're on Hancock, in Bullhead, and also here in Laughlin. So people that need to make a request for assistance because of the expenses of going through cancer treatment, that they can certainly do that. And we're going to continue this effort as long as possible.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So she spoke for 2.
Hi, my name is Donald Campbell, live at 1912 Las Palmas Lane, number 212, Campbell. And I am here this afternoon because there are a lot of people that would really love to have a pickleball court in Laughlin. I do not know what the best approach to accomplish that is, or but that's why I'm here. And obviously pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the country, possibly in the world, and it's a very, very good sport for some of us older people, and it's great for activity and socialization and concentration. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you. Pickleball.
Mark, wasn't that talked about at our last meeting?
Yeah, I'll just say thank you for your comment. I know we can't go back and forth, but we'll definitely share that with Parks and Rec and continue to let them know there's more interest to see if they can identify areas and locations for stuff. So, thank you.
Robert Bilbray, 1631 Cal Edison Drive. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I wanted to let, I'm sorry our librarian wasn't here. I wanted to let the board know that on election eve, I witnessed 12 to 13 signs for our congressional representative located on library property in violation of the electioneering distance requirement. That's a very common requirement. Every elected official knows it, and surely an incumbent congresswoman knows it. I filed a complaint, asked for an answer back from the management. The office said I asked for him to be removed before the opening of the voting on Tuesday. They said that nobody in the library district was able to remove the signs. But I will follow up with and report to the board that should never have happened in this town. Because once that starts, I think everybody knows where it's going to end up. So I just wanted you to be aware that I did that personally. I didn't. It's not on behalf of any organization. And again, I have not heard back from our librarian as to why those signs stayed up during the entire open polls. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Carrie Larson, Laughlin Chamber. I just wanted to commend the board on the capital budget requests. I know that my predecessor was really working hard on trying to get a community digital marquee. Mark, this is really, really, really important. We're finding it's very difficult to reach the general public as the chamber. Mostly, a lot of people are on social media. There are those that aren't. But even the algorithms that are there are not showing current information. I mean, I'm getting things from October 2nd yesterday. And it's very difficult to get your feed to post current events. You have to go through several steps. So that community digital marquee is super, super important. The crosswalk at Las Palmas and Needles Highway is this hardcore safety issue. But last but not least, that dedicated motorsports park, I assume that you're talking about doing that kind of along the 163 and in the BLM area?
No.
Up on county property in directly, what is it, going to be west, in the southwest corner by Woodbury and Thomas Edison.
Okay. All right, cool.
Our property there, our county property there.
Okay, that's great to know, because if you're planning on doing anything in that BLM swath that comes right down through here, it's going to become impossible if we don't get rid of that 368 corridor. That's all. Please, can we have a sign?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Evan Edom with the World Economic Support Agency. I just wanted to give our monthly announcement. Last month, we had indicated that we were able to go through with the IRS status, so we made it through there. And since then, we were able to officiate our board of directors and bring on full-time with our grants director. And that's going to enable us to now spearhead the application process for the grants. So we're officially moving full force ahead with that grant application process. I'm happy to say with Big Bay Water District, they've been extremely collaborative on this effort on trying to officiate kind of that what the private partnership agreement is going to look like. So that way we have a more smoother transition on going for that grant application. So that way it's a more streamlined process. So those are all in effect. We went through our certifications as well with SAM certifications and so forth. So I just wanted to give you the update that we are moving full speed ahead. We're making good progress, and happy to relate that information with the Water District as well.
Madam Chair. So the USDA still has all the funds available, correct?
Yes, they're still on the table and actually earmarking a couple other opportunities for us. I'm happy to also announce it is critical that we do take in consideration what Robert is indicating with the Water Reclamation Department. I've personally set up meetings with a couple representatives from there, Leslie Long. She's been working with me on trying to get these calculations and kind of an estimate on what the future capacity is going to look like. And then more so than that, the other important measure was last month we had a report from the airport, and they're going to be losing funding coming up in the next year. One of the grants that they get annually is going to be going away. So it's very important for us to maintain good stability and sustainability for our community, for businesses and tourism, to make sure we put an emphasis on that as well. So we have annual meetings with the airport now. We're happy to announce that we're going to be moving towards a partnership with them to see what kind of opportunities we can help as well there. So kind of tying everything in to see what kind of opportunities we can funnel with our grant application process. So that way we're looking at it more of like a central hub over the community's impact, instead of just focusing on the tanks alone, which is our critical element of our first phase right now, obviously. But it's important for us to make sure that we're maintaining vision over all the other aspects as well. Otherwise, like as Robert was saying, one really lies on the other, especially if you want to make sure that we have any type of growth for the community. So we're moving ahead with all those different initiatives. I just want to give you the update. And if we have any other progress coming in the next couple months on the actual application process, we'll come in and make that announcement as well.
Great, thank you so much.
Madam Chair, just one quick question. Just so I understand the process in my experience in grant writing, you are going to need virtually an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the Water District to submit with the grant. So that has to be completed. Are they working
with us.
diligently
So-
with you, giving you a good timeline on that? Because that's, when we went through this process, the commissioner offered to help in any way that he can. And so that would be something, to put on their proverbial front burner for them, so that you can have that to submit for the grants as timely as possible.
Absolutely. Better question for Houston. He's really spearheading the grants, but I can say that we have been working diligently with DOA and her team, with Jason and them, and they are working towards the underlying agreement that's going to take place for that. And DOA has been a collective asset into that. So she's working diligently on making sure we have all of that understood before we make any forward progression into waters that we're not necessarily expecting.
Okay,
So
because you'll need that to submit
absolutely,
for grants.
as well as the
because
letters
that
of-
dictates your timeline.
Sure, and we also will provide a template for the letters of support. Those are going to be exponentially helpful when it comes to that as well. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
of course, thank you.
Okay, our next meeting will be December 10th, 2024. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and joining us today.